And this should start. There, that's better. I think I'll put it on satellite view, just because I can. There, you're satisfied now. No cheating. I'm doing it for real. Well, not for real, but you know. You're in the view, by the way.
Huh?
You're trying to hide. But you don't want to come out the door then.
What?
I said you don't want to come out the door then. This is Mrs. Macaroni hiding behind the garage. If I put my glasses on, I can still see the chat. That's good. Can't see much else. I can see a bit of the map. So, what's the deal? The deal is I'm going to be doing 9 miles. I've just set off from John O'Groats. John O'Groats Harbour 3 times. And I'm going to be heading my way to Land's End. Pardon me. Along this virtual map. Clocking up, it will be just over 1,000, because although Land's End to John O'Groats is 900 and something, I want to make sure I hit the 4 figures. So there'll be a few little detours. Probably going to go through Shrewsbury, definitely go through Highworth, and maybe a few other places if people request places that they want me to go to that aren't too far off the route. And I'm obviously doing it for charity. I won't be mad enough just to do this for the sake of doing it. So I'm hoping to raise money. I will raise money for NHS Charities Together, equally with Gloucester House Rehabilitation Centre, Gloucester House Addictions Rehabilitation Centre in Highworth, Salvation Army Addiction Rehabilitation Centre. Those of you who know me, which is pretty much everybody on here, know my connections with it and why I'm doing it and why I feel so strongly about it, as I do with the NHS, who obviously in present time, unless somebody watches this video in 10 years time, we've got a pretty horrible virus going on at the moment, which is why I can only do this from my back garden and I can't do it for real. Which has made an interesting challenge. I'm quite glad to have got here, basically. It's been a challenge in itself just getting this up and running. I think as we go along, I will thank all the people that have helped me and do help me along the way. So, as of course is always the case, in the early stages, very amateurish, lots of mistakes. So the banner at the top, which reads, today I will be riding from Creag Nama Mara B&B to John O'Groats, was the last ride. I can't change it because I can't move the computer at the moment and I can't see hardly anything on the screen, and most of the writing on the screen is for changing that setting. It's in black and grey, which doesn't help when the sun's blaring in your face. So you'll have to thank you, Joanna. Oh, Nick said she's gone now. Nick said hello, Mrs. Macaroni. Yeah, so basically I am cycling. Where am I cycling from? I'm cycling from John O'Groats. This is going to be a 9 mile stage just to get me into it. So I did do a, I don't know, 6-7 mile about an hour ago, because I'd done 2 other stages before this started, starting from Dunnet Head Lighthouse, which is the furthest, I don't know how many times I've said this, the furthest northern point of mainland Britain. So I started from the lighthouse, did 2 stages to John O'Groats, but this is the official start. I'm going to stop each time that I stop, try and make it as realistic as possible. So I'll stop at a B&B or guest house, hotel. If I can afford to virtually stay at a hotel, I suppose I can stay anywhere I like, can't I? I'll try and keep it as realistic as it would be if you're doing it on a budget. Which made me think that must be quite expensive if you want to do B&B all the way. If you're doing Land's End to John O'Groats, and you're going to take as long as I'm probably going to take, because I am not a young man, not a fit man, not a well man, very sick man. So this stage, we're going from John O'Groats Harbour, Sea View, I may have stayed in, I was there, or John O'Groats by Together Travel, kind of quite apt with a charity. We're going to be finishing in, I'm probably going to get a lot of these pronunciations wrong, Keiss, spelled Keiss, little village, and we're going to stay at the Sinclair Bay Hotel. So that's where I'm heading towards. And then tomorrow we'll be going from there to through Munster House and through Munster, Wick, and so on and so on. First few stages going to be round about the sort of 10-mile-ish, slowly build up to 20, see where that goes from there. I don't know, obviously I'll get to a stage where I'll realise I know how many miles I'll be doing, or can do in a session, and whether I can do more than 1 session a day. I certainly don't want to injure myself or blow myself out before it gets going and have to give up. My ethos, I think, is it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, because I'll be raising money all the way, hopefully. It matters that I get there. So that is my determination, to make it there. Hopefully I won't be doing this in a year's time. I don't know how long it will take, a few weeks. At the end of the day, I'm on full lockdown in my house. What else can I do? So sorry, I didn't have the chat up because I was looking at where we were staying. Just come and say hello. Ashley, welcome to the stream. And Joanne, Emily, 2011. Joanna, sorry. Is that a Miss Joanna H? And we got Nick on. If you want to subscribe and get, I'm hoping that I've got an alert thing that comes up, but that will only happen if you have your privacy for sharing your choices of videos and things set to not private, set to public. So if you want an alert to come up when you subscribe, or wonder why you subscribed and nothing has come up, you need to change those in settings. Go into settings, go into privacy. There's two little switches, one for videos you share, one for videos that you subscribe to, or channels you subscribe to. Make sure they're off, and then you can always unsubscribe if you subscribed, and then subscribe button, and then hopefully your name would come up on the screen. If you want to try that. Yeah, will I be starting about this time? I think so. Well, I'm doing 10 miles. It's probably a little bit, I'll probably try and start at 5:30, because then that means that I finish in time to not be too late for tea, if I'm doing roughly about an hour. As the sessions get longer, I may probably start earlier, but I think 5:30 will be my normal starting time. Because then I can finish at 6:30, 7. Me and Mrs. Macaroni don't eat too early, but we don't like to eat too late as well. All the practical issues, isn't it, of being a YouTube superstar. Is that a request or a demand? Play Dark and Light. Dark and Light, great game. Everybody should play it. As long as you've got the computer that will do it. I could play it now, couldn't I? Is that what you meant? Play Dark and Light while I'm cycling. I can't even get the stream working properly, let alone play as well. Maybe after this I could do a marathon Dark and Light session. That will please Mrs. Macaroni. It's, how long has Linda been called Mrs. Macaroni? It's kind of a joke in a way. She's already called herself by her own name, because sometimes people like to be kept anonymous. My YouTube account is Shades Macaroni, as you probably all know, because otherwise you wouldn't be on here. So she's not. She's called Linda, and I'm called Richard. And my guess is that most people come on this channel are going to be people that I know, so you can call me what you like. Don't call me Dick, don't like that. So, do we prefer seeing the satellite type map, as in the one I got up there, or do we prefer the sort of standard Google type map? What do you guys think? I've got a horrible sneaky feeling that this may have actually crashed. If you're still there, don't panic, it's just me that's panicking. So, I suppose the only way that I'm going to know is I can't even see the chat. If this is still live, if somebody just says, yes, we're still on. So, are we still on? Oh, Nick says satellite, which suggests that we're still on. Okay, satellite it is. It's a dynamic channel. I will do what you want, well, within reason, obviously. Evening, Deanne. Nick briefly met Deanne last night. No, night before. Is it last night? Yeah, last night. On the first stream. Deanne promised she was going to do a session on her own exercise cycle today, and I believe she did it. Well done, Dee. Got any questions about what I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Who am I? Why am I here? Any of those kind of things. As we go along, it'll probably just be general chat, bit of banter. Like, I'm not sure doing 2 sessions was a good idea today. Just about to see I've done 3.2 miles. Third of the way. Talk about bowls. Ooh, 10k. Well done. We should do it in, we should synchronise. Everybody who's got a exercise bike ride along. I'll try and keep up with you. I remember bowls. Yeah, that's what we used to do, wasn't it? The square grass. You had to be near people though. We don't do people anymore. How's everybody surviving at the moment anyway? In this strange new world. It hasn't taken 30 minutes for 3 miles, has it? Can't have. Well, if I'm doing about 11 miles an hour, I should have it done in an hour. It made me go faster now and lose my breath. It's not going to be that long anyway. I've only got 6 miles to go. If you look at the bottom of the screen, where it's got the elevation, so at the moment we're going downhill. Not that makes any difference whatsoever on a turbo trainer. The resistance is in the effort that you put in, the power that you put in, which unfortunately is the only thing on that side that isn't working tonight for some reason. So the 2 zeros on there are the power, although for me, and I'm guessing most people, it has no significance whatsoever. I'm sure a professional cyclist, it means a lot. All I'm interested in is the miles that I do and the bit at the end of the line. So where the red mark is where we are at the moment, so you can kind of get an idea on there on how far along we are, because obviously the beginning of the white line is the beginning and the end of the white line is the end. Yeah, so in certain ways it's not it's not the same as obviously doing the actual ride, because it can't what's the word for it? Can't take into account the elevations. But in another way, it means that you're getting constant resistance, and every time that you try and get there faster, it makes it harder for you. So I've been riding the bike a fair amount, and obviously used apps to gauge my performance. I'd say pedal for pedal, it's harder, mainly because you don't get any respite. When you stop pedaling, you get nothing. Whereas obviously when you're out, and especially if I was going, apparently if you go from John O'Groats to Land's End, you get more downhill. I don't get the benefit of that, so I gain a bit of benefit with the really steep hills, but lose out on the downhill section. So that big downhill we just gone down has given me no respite whatsoever, but I can carry on at the same pace now going up. Yeah, I'd say to cycle what I'd normally do, which would be about what I'm doing now, 11 miles an hour, is the same as trying to cycle at 10 miles an hour. It doesn't sound a lot of difference, but it does make quite a bit of difference. I'm doing well talking and cycling here. There's the bit that I was worried most about. I think there will be some stages where I won't be saying a lot. I'll leave it to you guys to talk amongst yourself. Yeah, Deanne, I know what you mean about the bacon. Linda's made a few cakes. I had a couple to get me going. Well, I had one before the last ride that I did and one before this ride, which is very nice. I think we're all making more meals from scratch, aren't we? I certainly. It's nice to be able to have the time to do that now. That's one of the benefits. Joanne, I was talking to, it is Jo. It is Babe, isn't it? If I say Babe to somebody that's not Babe. I was talking to Sheep earlier on about bacon, or your bacon. Yeah, I guess there's got to be some quiet time. Even somebody with a gob on them like me, I'm not going to be able to talk for 1,000 miles. Ooh. Or maybe I can. Maybe it's a sponsored talk, not a sponsored ride. I need a drink. Best sports drink ever. Blackcurrant squash. Other squashes are available. So it is, babe. Babe is not a word I use very often for ladies, but it's kind of a, I don't know what you call it. It's a thing. Joke, in joke, that's the word probably. That's the only problem I'm going to have talking, as most of you probably know me, I get stuck on words quite a lot. If it was like vocal, it'd be easier because you'd be good. You'd be telling me what the word is. So you haven't done much YouTubing lately then, Joe? Well, we're over halfway, if it is 9 miles. Oh, maybe I should have worn 2 pairs of shorts. Yeah, I can see it seems to have crashed. I think it's back though. We're back, eh? Twisting roads. Would that be a certain JS? Stick it in the big ring and the 11. Yeah, you want to see me die on YouTube. I'm nearly up there in the big one. I'm only... Watch the heart rate go up then. Oh, that hurts. I'm cheating. Standing up on the trainer. Ah, I'm not here to kill myself, I'm here to get there. We will, sorry. Oh, got the heart pumping anyway. Well, the good news is my leg's hurting a bit more now. It means that it doesn't feel like my arse does as much now. It wasn't a race, I was provoked. Didn't get me much further. Still, 2/3 of the way through. I wonder what they're cooking at the guest house. It's a hotel, isn't it? Is there a difference? What's the difference between a guest house and a hotel? Yeah, I've already said that to somebody. It's all downhill. Unfortunately, this is the bit I don't get the advantage for. If it was all uphill, I get a bit of advantage out of that, I think. So Land's End is higher than, no, John O'Groats is higher than Land's End, I suppose. I don't know. My logic says they're both at sea level, but that would be my kind of bike ride though. Get dropped off by helicopter, a bit like snowboarding or something, at the top of a very high place, just freewheel everywhere. I like the thrill, not the hard work. God, wish I could see something. You can't see it because the camera's facing this way, but the sun is absolutely blazing in my eyes. But it's a shame I can't set it up the other way around in the evenings. I have to try and work out a way of doing it. Although I'm higher up than the camera, but you get some lovely views over that side of the camera. Got the Cotswold Hills, RAF Fairford. Sean's house. So I had a much more complicated layout, but I simplified it as much as I think I can, and then hopefully there's actually I haven't said in this stream, we haven't quite got the platform for the, I know what charities I'm doing, I've already said that, it's Gloucester House Addictions Rehabilitation Centre and NHS charities together, but I'm still working on the platform. Slight issue because Gloucester House is part of a charity which is obviously Salvation Army, so I've got to work with the head of fundraising for Salvation Army so that we can link the two together, because all the platforms that will allow you to do two charities at once need the charity number. So it will come, and you'll be able to give all your millions to me, so I can be just like Mr. Soldier. Can't remember his name, brain's going. Let's have the legs. Yeah. What will I do when it rains? Electrics. Two options, basically. Here, my screen is mirrored, so people are wondering why I'm pointing there, I'm not over there. But basically, in here is a shed. It's a bit more than the shed. It's even got heating in it. It's a little brick building. So I can do it in there. But up here, you have a rather large parasol, which is a cantilever, so there's no post in the middle. So I'd move this table here out of the way, and I would probably do it under that, especially as the weather's getting warmer now. It's probably better to be outside. But yeah, say electrics would be a bit of a problem. But I have waterproof extension leads with plug covers, so not on the one that's on at the moment, that's a normal one, but I can do that. So as long as I can get the laptop underneath and the camera underneath, and I'm not sure whether twisting roads, how waterproof are turbo trainers, because I know they've got electrics inside them, but they don't actually physically have, well, they're not connected to a mains. But basically, yeah, I will find a way. I've found a way to do everything else so far, with all sorts of every turn to get to just this bit of riding. It seems to be one problem after another, having to solve it, which is kind of in a way been good, because being in lockdown, it kind of, you're almost craving things to do, so it's certainly given me plenty to occupy my mind, and now it's up and running, I've got plenty to physically occupy me. Although obviously between riding, keep Mrs. Macaroni happy, I need to start getting my arse in gear around bits around the house and things like that. That's a very long-winded way of answering that question, but yeah, this is the last bit of equipment to arrive, which is the stand, which has made it, I'd say it's made it a lot easier, but as I say, the sun is so bright shining this way at the moment that when I did it last night, I could see most of the stuff on the screen. I can just about see that it's live at the moment. So I'm kind of relying on what I can see on the phone here, because obviously I've got the chat, and I can see a very small version of the map. But yeah, oh, it'd be so nice if I was on a bike that had two wheels on it, heading out towards that way. Looks very nice. Birds on the aerial twittering away. Not been too bad. I think, yeah, I can see the finish line. I may change the map over in a second. Just so you can see where I finish, just in case you're sad like me and want to look up where I'm virtually staying. Leaving the little town of Keiss. See if I can do this without messing stuff up. Ta-da! I think that's worked. It's quite a long delay. Just realised by how long it's taken for the map to change over. Sometimes I can't help but freewheel. A little bit closer. Start to think there's something going wrong with the bearings on this thing. It's starting to get harder and harder as you get near that little bit at the end. I swear it puts more resistance on than the last little bit, although I don't think physically can do that. Oh, we crashed again. Oh, we're back. I can tell from this whether we're moving. I don't think we are. The program's got stuck. We'll be stuck this far away forever. Got to be moving. So close. I am, Nick, nearly there, I hope. So, coming into view, I can't remember where we're staying, and I can't see it on my map because the sun is shining. Somebody wants to tell me. Oh, sorry, Deanne said it's near. See, that's sun trouble. I am nearly there, Deanne. Sorry, getting you mixed up. What is the hotel called? See if somebody can chat me the line, the name of the hotel before I get there. It's your challenge. Still alive. It's changing my gears. That little elf down there changing my gears, I think. But those two dots are so close together now. No, that was the other one. That was the one we started from today. This one is called Sinclair Bay Hotel in Keiss. Wow, that wasn't that bad. 17 miles completed for the day. 16, 15, something like that. That's it. I'm going to get off this bike and go to my virtual hotel. I'll have to cook my own meal. Do another stage tomorrow. 5:30. Nick likes the time. 5:30. I will start the next stage. That's in the evening, not in the morning. Thank you very much for being with me, everyone. Stay safe. Peace out.